I feel like everyone I talk to about ghost houses in Mario either hate them or feel indifferent about them, and that includes me. So I went ahead and played every single ghost house in mainline Mario and ranked them to see if those thoughts were justified. And we're doing it chronologically, because it's real interesting to see how these levels evolved over time. So let's start with Mario World. Donut Ghost House is the first ever Mario ghost house to exist. And it kind of sucks. There's really not much to it. It's pretty bare bones. I feel like they're just getting their bearings with this one. There's not many rooms. There's nothing going on in them. You pretty much just run in a straight line for most of it. The secret to beating the normal exit's kind of tricky, but it's also pretty bare bones. It's the first one, so I'll cut some slack and not put it in F tier, but it's a D tier. The secret exit's also stupid, and I hate these ones. You need to come with a cape, which isn't provided to you at all in the level. And at the start, you just need to fly straight up and run to the right. And there's also a chance that a boo just phases in and randomly hits you. The only saving grace about the secret is that it gives you 4 1-ups and unlocks the top secret area, which is goated for grabbing power-ups. But yeah, it's just not interesting, so it's going to D. Not off to a great start. Okay, so second we got Donut Secret House, and this is already a step up from Donut Ghost House. It doesn't start off great with the super basic room, but we already got more enemy variety. And having to use this P-switch to drop the spring to jump over this big boo is pretty weird. Gives me a little bit of Mario Maker vibes, but whatever. The next room are where things get kind of interesting. I mean, okay, it's just pick a door, but the door you have to use is hidden off the rip. So you run past the coin formation that outlines a door, and if you don't collect enough coins, you can't get through. So it makes you think a little before you just mindlessly hit the P-switch. And if you happen to go through the other doors, they end up just looping you back around. And the secret exit requires you to hit the P-switch and then hit a vine, which you wouldn't be able to access normally. And it takes you to a secret boss, which is pretty sick. So I mean, I'm gonna give this guy a little B tier. Okay, now that we've had 2 ghost houses like right beside each other in the same world, surely it'll be like a little bit before we get the next one. Wouldn't be like 4 seconds to the right, would it? And they're really like ghost houses at the stage in development, huh? Vanilla Ghost House is pretty mid. There's actually no secret in this one unless I'm an idiot. And the only trick it plays on you is the exact same one from before in Donut Secret House. But what makes this a little more memorable is this room with the big green orbs. I literally have no idea what these are, but it's a fine enough hazard that keeps it out of D tier. The rest of the level's pretty mediocre, so it's a C tier. Also, thank God these ghost houses are short. 3 this close together is crazy work. Forest Ghost House is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. You start off in a really narrow pathway, which is already super different. Gives you a claustrophobic vibe. They throw some ghosts at you, forcing you to narrowly dodge them. It's cool and kind of challenging. But near the start, you see a door floating in the void up top. And you're all like, how am I supposed to get up there? So you keep going, and you run into a P-switch. And guess what you have to do with this one? You collect the coins so you don't block yourself from the hidden door reveals, we know. But once you go through, you're up top in the void you couldn't access before. It makes it seem like it's outside your reach until bing bang boom, you're up there. Then the normal exit is just to your left, and the secret makes you go even farther left. Nothing crazy for the secret, but you get a 3-up moon, so that's pretty sick. And I mean, this is the best ghost house so far, and I think it deserves an A tier. Now, Choco Ghost House might be the toughest one yet, mainly because they throw so many enemies at you. There's this ghost Lakitu looking guy hovering with a flame above your head for half of the level, making sure you don't jump. The floor is literally sliding a pit around. There's ghosts coming at you from on and off screen, it's insane. But the gimmicks in this level are pretty neat. Like, I like the moving pit. I like the boos that turn into solid blocks when you look at them. They didn't do enough with it though, and the level layout is boring as hell. And probably because if the layout was any more complex, you'd want to rip your hair out because of this floating fisherman guy. But I died here a couple of times trying to get this footage, so maybe it's good that the layout's basic. But I mean, there's only one exit here, and the coolest part of this level is used for one jump at the end, and that's it. I want to give it like a low B or high C. Well, let's just go with high C for now. I wasn't sure whether to count this or not, but it takes place inside a ship the whole time, and it's kind of like a house, so screw it. Sunken Ghost Ship is such a cool gimmick, and not gonna lie, on its own, it brings it up to B tier. Too bad this level's kind of mid at best. You roll up and everything's pretty chill and normal, then you go deeper into it and you get to this stupid freaking room where the boos just disappear and reappear randomly, giving you a split second to react or you die. Now you can just say mad 'cause bad and screw you, that's rude as hell. But it just simply isn't interesting. It's nerve-wracking and you gotta lock the hell in or it's a wrap. I enjoy a nice challenge when it's interesting, but this ain't it. And then the last section is just a massive drop where they give you a star and you fall through a bunch of enemies and spike balls. Now this absolutely feels like a Mario Maker section, but I mean, I sort of understand the design philosophy behind this. Hear me out. The previous room was all about tension, and this last room is all about release. Dissonance into harmony. It's a big sigh of release and you're thrown into an empty and lazy but kind of fun room after that horror you just went through. And I respect it, so I'm gonna throw this in B tier. The rooms on their own are lame, but together, they kind of work. So we're on to the final ghost house of Super Mario World, and man oh man, is it something. Valley Ghost House starts off with bringing the green orbs back, which is neat, but that's not really important. You go through the door and at the end it's just a P-switch run. Choose left and you end up in a room with not much to do. Seems like another bonus room with the coins that you have to control with the D-pad. Go right and there's a sequence of doors that get cut off with blocks if you don't make it there fast enough. The second to last door on the right is the normal exit, and if that's your main experience with the level, whatever, pretty mid. But it's the secret exit that inflicts the most pain upon your body and mind. See, if you make it to the last door, it takes you to this other area with a P-switch. Keep going and wait a second. It's the same bonus coin room from before. So you do some experimenting with the coin and the P-switch and you find out there's a secret exit up top. How do you get it? You have to blindly make a bridge of coins off screen to perfectly align with the 1 block gap at the top of the screen so you can slide in and grab the key. Problem is, the way you control the coin bridge is with your movement, and there are boos at the bottom of the screen with you. So if you try to move around them, you mess up the bridge and you have to restart the whole level to try again. Like, it's a cool idea, but man, is it brutal. If they simply lowered the exit a bit and made the gap larger to get through, this would still be sick, but it would also seem fair. And you can't ride the blocks up if you use the P-switch early. That just kills you for some reason. Now I'm torn on this because this gimmick is so cool, but they took it too far and made it too cryptic, so C tier. Also, the rest of the level's kind of whatever anyway. On to Mario 64 with Big Boo's Haunt. It's S tier, I don't care. Maybe I'm nostalgia blinded, okay? But I don't care. This level actually has the layout of a house, a big mansion, and the outside vibes you spawn in are immaculate. They just be daring you to come inside. Pause, wait. You walk in the mansion, the first room on your left, boom, evil haunted piano with freaking teeth. Scar to every single child that's played this. You can't lie to me. It's okay, we should probably go to therapy. But the types of rooms in this level are crazy good. You got the piano room, you got the library, you got the coffin room, I guess. There's this room with a bridge, and if you fall down, the music transitions into this creepy carnival music, and you're in a complete new area with a merry-go-round that shoots boos out at you. You even get to have a duel with Big Boo at the top of the freaking mansion for a star. I mean, now granted, you end up fighting Big Boo like 4 times throughout the stars, and it gets a little bit old, but everything else makes up for it. And in the DS version, they even put Luigi's Unlock in this level as a nod to Luigi's Mansion, which is nice. So yeah, easiest S tier of my life. Okay, back into 2D with New Super Mario Bros. DS. Now, 3 Ghost House ain't nothing special, but its gimmick is kind of interesting. You rock up, you hit the switch, and the stairs go from flat to, stairs. And that's like the whole level. Nothing really spooky or confusing about this. It's actually quite linear for a Ghost House, which is gonna be a theme going on for a little bit at times. Now, I don't dislike a Ghost House for being linear. In a lot of cases, I prefer it, but it's still gotta be interesting. The only real interesting things about the stairs is that you can't even use them as normal stairs. You have to jump 1 step at a time. Low-key annoying. Now, that's high-key annoying. The secret exit's kind of fun. The good old will hit the P-switch and instead of going to the obvious door, double back and run even farther to the secret door that appeared. And the timing on this is kind of strict, too. And for the 3rd star coin, you need to time this roulette block and get a blue shell to break the blocks at the end. I hope you didn't hit the roulette block before you knew you needed the blue shell, like you probably would, since how on earth would you be able to predict that? But no biggie, just another run through and you got it. Probably. But yeah, that's like high C. Now let's see what 4 Ghost House is hidden for. And look at this little guy, you kidding me? Okay, big gun now, Jesus Christ. Bro, this level is peak from the 2 assets alone. And you need a mini mushroom to get the secret exit. So close. Now that on its own doesn't seem bad enough, but I hate when a level forces you to leave the level and come back with a different power-up that isn't in the level at all for you to get an exit or a star coin. There's a reason why it doesn't return outside of this new Super Mario Bros. Game, but let's be real, it's not the end of the world. And the level itself is pretty alright. Not only does it add, but it adds this friend. And it goes back to being a little less linear, but still more linear than Mario World. But still, it's a little confusing. And it also has these weird string question blocks, which are fun to push around, I guess. This would have been an A tier if the secret exit wasn't stupid, so I gotta throw it in B. Okay, 5 Ghost House actually mixed me, I'm not gonna lie. At the start, I was like, oh cool, a bruiser level. You gotta use these guys to break normally unbreakable blocks for you, which is a neat idea, until you realize how boring it is. Because you're kind of just sitting there, and half the time the reward is a couple of coins. There's this cool room for a star coin that's like a panic room of bruisers coming to get you, and you gotta climb up before it's too late. That's cool. But then it's more of the same, climbing up the staircase left and then right. Then you get to this lift and you're like, okay. Then the lift slows down. All right. Goes up a little, wiggles around, drops all the way down, shoots all the way back up. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Except when this happens. But it's like a haunted lift and it's a cute, fun idea. But it just kind of wastes your time. You can have cool ideas that are also interesting gameplay-wise, and this is not it. But that aside, you get up the lift and you're pretty much out. But the secret goddamn exit is so much worse than it should be. So in this block formation, if you wall jump up, you can kind of see a secret. My first thought was, okay, keep building up with invisible blocks and then we'll be able to make a staircase to get up there. But there are none. So I thought, there's no way I need a wall jump up with a mini mushroom. So I go get a mini mushroom, brought it back, went to start wall jumping, and there's literally no way. You just hit a vine block 1 block over the ground. I literally lost my mind. Because this happens all the time in mods with inexperienced level designers. The only way to get the secret is to hopefully just be small when you get here. Whether you're mini or you just don't have a mushroom. Because I tried this when I had a power-up and was punished for it. The only way you get this with a mushroom is if you just randomly crouch jump here. If you try this when you're big and there's nothing there, why would you think to come back? There's no invis block here. Oh, you should try crouch jumping instead. Oh! No! Whoever designed this needs to be shot. If it wasn't clear, this is F tier. Boring gimmick, the stupidest secret exit of all time, uninteresting staircase design, moving on. 7 Ghost House, the final Ghost House for New Super Mario Bros. DS. And this one is almost S tier. Can you guess what keeps it from being an S tier? Here, I'll give you 3 seconds to guess. 3, it's the secret exit. But we'll get to that. And what's so cool about this level is that it's a trial level. We have to start in the center room and it's all like, beat all these trials 5 to make it out of this house alive. You gotta check out each room, complete its mini challenge and head on back. And I just love these stages. I don't know what it is about it, but I love them. Now you don't technically have to beat all the doors. There's only one door that progresses you and the others are for star coins and stuff. But once you go through the progress door, you're hit with this creepy room. There's a bunch of floating hands, all pointing to the same moving target. So you track it down and boom, it's a block with a switch inside. You hit it and bada bing, invisible platforms helping you proceed. The hand gimmick is really cool because it doesn't force you to wait around for it to do its thing. It's like, hey, something's going on over here, but it's moving. So we'll help you out as a disembodied hand homies. But you move forward and it's a P-switch dash to get the 3rd star coin and the end. Chef's kiss. I love me a good P-switch dash. If you choose to go left, it just takes you back. So it's got a little ghost trickery in it. But if that were the whole level, I'd put it in S. But there do be a secret exit. And check this out. Random block and a sea of other blocks. Are you kidding me? I literally just got lucky and found this. I was exploring back because I forgot what was in the door on the left for the script. But to be fair, this block is the only one that has a little shine on it when it comes on screen. So it would catch your eye if you stood around here for long enough. Too bad the floor is about to disappear so you can't. All they had to do was make you go left and have an even more strict P-switch dash to get the secret. Not another random ass vine block. Like, it's so lazy. However, since there's an actual hint to help you with this random vine block, and the rest of the level's so goated, it's going in A tier. Not S, but A. I think that's fair. Now, Ghostly Galaxy and Mario Galaxy is a tricky one, mainly because it barely takes place inside a ghost house. So I wasn't even sure if I should count it, but it's got the right ghost house vibe. It's got moxie, and for that, I respect it. But unfortunately, as a ghost house, it's kind of mid. It's weird. Whenever I thought back on this level, I thought it was peak ghost house. But after replaying it, it's kind of just okay in terms of what you actually do. The 1st star has you go in and save Luigi. You start off outside, making your way into the ghost house. The outside has a good vibe. I like the outdoor ghost theme a lot. But you make your way inside and you're taught that you can kill Boos with this little light, which is new for the mainline games. You move on to the next room, which is a gravity room, which would honestly be really cool for a ghost house if it wasn't already the main gimmick of Mario Galaxy. So it's hard to give it points for that, but whatever. You get some star pieces and head out. You get launched to an outside area where you see Lagugu asking for help. So you head inside, touch this coin, and oh, look, I got no problems with Boo Mario. They just didn't use him in an interesting enough way, you know? You shake the controller to go through grates, and you avoid lights in 2 rooms, and that's literally it. And it's cool that when you get near Luigi, he's still scared of you. And this victory screen is one of my faves. I just like seeing the squad do a victory dance together in any game, to be honest. Oh, and this Boo has the hots for Mario, so there's that. The secret star takes you to this weird pocket dimension with a disappearing floor gimmick, which isn't bad, but not amazing. Luckily, it doesn't overstay its welcome and ends right when it's getting boring. The 2nd star is a race against this Boo that I somehow lost the first time and doesn't even take place in the house. It's a fun enough race, it takes place in a weird bone course, so there's that. The 3rd star is pretty cool though. Low-key an iconic boss fight with Boulder Guys. Swing the bomb Boos into him a few times till he dies. Again, I guess. But at the start of the star, they show us how the bomb Boos work and we're inside again. For about 3 seconds until we blow up the statue and leave, but hey. Now honestly, I would put this in B tier after what I just said about it. Seems good, but nothing crazy, right? If it wasn't for the music, oh my god, it's so good! The Waltz of the Boos is just peak. I don't even know what to do. I just kinda wanna do some spins and some... So yeah, it's going in A tier now. It's time for some new Super Wii. We got 4 Ghost House. This one's just aight. I mean, the gimmick for this is that there's these slow moving blocks that go up or down, depending on if you're standing on them or not. Not super interesting because it's mad slow going up or down. The secret exit's kind of mean because you just have to stand on this big block for a really long time and bring it all the way to the floor so you can actually see the door. But the level teaches you right off the bat that there are things hidden under these blocks sometimes, which would make you want to stand on almost every single one that you see so you don't miss anything, which is mad boring. But this level does introduce fake Boo doors and flying candle stands. I don't know what these are actually. But this level is very linear and the only trickery to be had here is the fake doors. So I can't get this level any higher than C. You could honestly make an argument for D, but unfortunately I'm biased as hell with this game in particular, so it's going in C. Now 5 Ghost is a good one, because right off the bat it starts you in darkness and like, yeah, it's surprising how many ghost levels are just completely lit like you have Fulbright on playing Minecraft. The main gimmick for this is that you gotta navigate the pseudo maze in the dark and go through a bunch of different rooms with different challenges and themes. And y'all should know by now, I love me a good trial room level. I mean, once again, none of the rooms are actually required except the exit room, rooms, unless you want to get all the star coins. The first room is kind of nothing. You just walk forward and jump off 3 times and leave. But the other rooms actually have something going on. There's a water section with bonefish where if you mess up, you'll literally be swimming with the fishes. Now granted, you can immediately jump out with no real danger since they have to charge up to hit you, but they're trying, okay? The next room is a series of boo circles. Nothing crazy, but you actually have to turn on your brain a little for this one. There's a glow block room where you gotta hit a switch to see where the block is so you can stand on it. Even though the block's like already visible without the switch, they really should have made it so the blocks are invis until you hit the switch. Like, you can still jump on them, you just can't see them at all. You can have that one for free, Nintendo. I'm just kidding, that's gonna be $14 gajillion. And that room takes you to a secret exit. It's not hard, it's pretty fair, and the door is actually behind a very suspicious wall that gives you a little hint that it's not like the other walls. So yeah, you can just walk through it. Anyway, the last room is a moving brick block section, which is pretty neat, and that's the normal exit. So yeah, I like this one a bunch. It's not A or S tier, there's nothing wow about it, so it's going in high B. Oh wait, I totally forgot about World 3, didn't I? Okay, we got 3 Ghost House. C tier. I don't know, the main gimmicks this time around are climb you ropes and the poles and the spooky elevator that drops real quick. The first 2 have nothing to do with ghost houses, they're just here for fun. And I do like the poles, the ropes like whatever. But what's really an improvement is the pacing on the spooky elevator compared to Mario Worlds. The old one is really slow and felt like it wasted too much time. Now granted, this one's also too slow, it's a little faster, but like, a shiny turd's still a turd, you know? Like if I gave the old elevator a 2 out of 10, this is getting a 3. Not a huge improvement, but it's better. The secret exit is very similar to the main exit once you find it. You just gotta drop down off the rope where these coins are, making it an educated leap of faith. Pretty tame. The elevator section in the main and secret exit both have stars where you can kill all the boos and nab some 1-ups, which helps the boredom out a little bit. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, yeah, it's C tier. Here we are at 7 Ghost House, and right away, there's a bruiser. I get New Super Mario Bros. DS PTSD frame 1. But this time, it ain't bad. One could even say, it's good? Because hear me out, this whole level isn't built around waiting for the bruisers to slowly make their way over to break 1 block for you. This time it's like OG Donkey Kong. They got barrels in front of them and they punch them down at you, so you gotta avoid them. It's a cool idea. I think the only time you need a bruiser to break something for you is for the first star coin and the secret exit, which is not that bad. I mean, you see this suspicious box here. What else are you gonna do with it? Now going to the secret exit, the next room is a vertical vine and spring room, which isn't too easy and has you bouncing around trying to activate and time everything perfectly. It's pretty solid actually. And once you get out, your exit door is on the 2nd story and you drop to the ground to instantly turn back around and go back inside the mansion. I love that so much for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like, anytime I'm able to instantly return from where I just was for a secret, I'm always down. Now when you go back inside, it's kind of like a nothing room with a star coin in it, floating above a platform you have to make appear, and then you just kind of leave, but it's still neat how you got there. But backtracking to the normal exit, if you keep going up, you end up dodging more bruises with barrels to escape at the top. Inside, you're met with a roulette block and a bridge that totally won't disappear under your feet. So it disappears under your feet and you're dropped into a free fall section. But not like the one in Mario World in the Haunted Shipwreck. You know, the one where you like don't do anything and it doesn't really matter? This time you actually have to follow where the coins are and maneuver in midair so you don't get bodied by a boo. I just kind of really like this part like a lot. It's just a good time and it's a free fall section done right. But once you're at the bottom, you just gotta guess the right door and you're out. And once you're outside, you gotta make your way to the flag through a little outdoor section. And I do enjoy a little outdoor segment in the Ghost House every now and then. That's an A tier Ghost House for me. Maybe if it had an evil piano with teeth, it would go in S tier, but there's no wow factor, so A it is. Jumping over to Galaxy 2, we got Haunty Halls Galaxy. And as the name clearly states, it is indeed a series of halls. This is pretty much just a ghost-themed obstacle course hallway, but it's got some cool gimmicks. I like the platforms going into one phantom field and appearing out the other. Kind of like repair scrolling. But you hop into the next section and you got the homie Yoshi with the bulb fruit. And this is just like the secret star in Galaxy 1, but this time you get to go at your own pace. And I think that's an improvement straight up. You can go slower for sure, but you can actually go as fast as you want now, which in turn makes this part not a bore to go through after a while. Not like it lasts long anyway, because before you know it, you're done. But aesthetically, it's pretty cool. Like a ghost house separated in its own pocket dimension that only Yoshi can reveal. Wait, maybe he's more powerful than we thought. The second star is more of the same from the first half of the first star. Just continued the obstacle course vibe. But we break out of the hallway and actually take some turns this time. It is crazy, whoa. There's even a couple of boo chase segments, which is really welcome in these stages. Luigi, get up. Luigi, get up. Oh my god. Jeez, that was close. But yeah, the star also adds some Matter Munchers into the mix, which perfectly fits the vibe. Oh god, not again. Luigi, get up. Oh. What the? Oh, come on! But yeah, it's barely a ghost house at all. However, its theme is kind of a disassembled ghost house floating throughout space. And I kind of dig that theme a lot, so I want to give this a high B. So Boom Moon Galaxy is pretty interesting. All 3 of the main stars take place in this dark maze, which is great. The stars 1 and 3 version are, okay, barely a maze, but they tried. And the rest of star 1 and 3 take place in this dumb poison swamp riding on a snake block bridge, which sucks, by the way. But star 2 is here to carry the team because they extend the maze, and it's way more confusing. So confusing, in fact, I got Luigi Guide to take me to the end. Okay, I mean, it was totally on accident, but it's still more than 1 and 3. Then you get taken to a boo mushroom zone. And there's more than 10 seconds of content here. There's a whole course crafted for Luigi or Mario. Yeah, there's the grates you spin through again for sure, but they got fans now and more enemies to avoid, and it's decently long. They actually did some interesting things with the boost room. Not bad, guys. But since 66% of the stars are awful, let's go in high C. Look, if it wasn't for star 2, this would definitely be in D tier. Onto the 3DS with 3D Land, and 4-4 is probably the scariest one so far. I just can't see where I'm going. But I do like the vibe and the gimmick. The whole level takes place in the dark, like a ghost house realistically should. Like, who's paying the electricity bill for all the other ones? I know it ain't Bowser's bum ass. Maybe King Boo's got a day job? But aside from the darkness, you're inching your way forward for these platforms to show up in front of you to show you the way. I like this aesthetically, but gameplay-wise, it's pretty boring. If there weren't any boos putting pressure on you to get moving, this would be a D tier, but I'll throw it in C. But 6-3 though, this level goes crazy. Not only is it a trial level and you get to go into a 3D block puzzle room, which is, I mean, whatever. But then in the second room, you're navigating a giant piano, which is awesome. And the third room leads into the rest of the level, which starts off in a library. And as you climb the stairs and walk to the back of that section, you might notice that you walk into some really large books, which teleport you into a section where you're navigating a giant library. It's just like a tiny, huge island level, but in a ghost house. And it makes more sense because I feel like that's a spooky theme in a lot of media. And it's just cool to be in one place and then all of a sudden you're tiny and navigating that place completely differently. It doesn't overstay its welcome and it's just a really solid level. This is high A tier. Now 8-4 kinda sucks. It's not horrible, but the majority of the level is you standing on this moving block barely doing anything. There aren't nearly enough hazards in these sections, especially considering this is World 8. There's a fun little drop down jump scare at the end of the level, but that's literally the only interesting part about this level. D tier. Special 4-2 is literally 4-4 again, but you have a cosmic clone chasing you, which is cool, but it's the same level. C tier. Special 5-5 is very similar to 6-3, but they took out the cool piano room and instead you're playing pick-a-box in the third section. Each time you get it right, you're taken to a slightly altered version of the same room. I kinda like this though. It seems boring on the surface, but I don't know, it's kinda fun. And since it's 6-3, it's automatically gonna be solid. So this is gonna be like a B tier. And the last ghost house for 3D World is Special 6-5, which, I mean, you guessed it, a remake of 8-4. And they literally did exactly what I asked for. They added more hazards and the level is better for it. It's more interesting and I'm literally like not falling asleep while playing the level. And that's enough for this to no longer be in D tier. It's low C because it's still not that interesting, just better than D. Alright, who's ready for some more soup? Two Ghosts is a tricky one. I like the troll vibes of them moving the blocks away from you when you go to hit them, and the bouncy floor appearing out of nowhere gives you a little unexpected result. But the star of the show is Behemoth. I love this guy! It makes for an interesting side scroller when you're being chased by a big guy. And when you stare at him for too long, he does this little peek and then inches forward just a smidge, so you can't wait there forever. It's great. This might go in A tier, honestly, but what's the secret exit like? Oh, so we're being disrespectful again. We're being childish, Nintendo. Just a random ass vine block with no indication at all, eh? That's so bad. That's one of the worst I've seen. The only reason I found this is because I've 100% this game a few times and remembered. You'd have to find this literally on accident. That legit bumps it down an entire grade to B tier. Come on now. Now, 3 Ghost House is trying to deceive you into being interesting. The gimmick here is moving platforms, but they threw little peepers here beside them to distract you from the fact that they're really just normal moving platforms. It's not bad because there are a few little extra things that they do. Like they'll dump you off if you wait too long. Mario probably ate too much pasta last night. You know what I'm saying? You know what And there's a trial room at the end, but it's probably the least interesting trial room so far. The secret exit's pretty fair. It's probably hidden and pretty noticeable if you're paying attention. And all it requires is a Tanuki leaf to get through, which they give you a couple throughout the level. Pretty okay ghost house. It's C tier. Alright, so this next ghost house in World 4 is kinda lame. It's the most D tier house we have. It's centered literally around these 2 boo walls that slowly move back and forth through this area. The first time it appears, it's kind of a, oh my god, are they just gonna crush me? Oh, never mind. That'd be way too smart for them. Like, seriously, they can easily crush Mario here, but whatever. And that's it. That's the level. The secret exit isn't bad, but it isn't clever. You just jump up in the second room and you're there. Super boring. Bad idea for a gimmick. D tier. It could have even been F, honestly, if there weren't boos in the walls. That adds enough charm to throw it in D. Next is 5 Ghost House, and this is just kind of bad. The whole point of this level is to simulate jumping from swinging chandelier to the next, but they couldn't be asked to model a chandelier, I guess, because that would cost money. And they had to make this game as cheaply as possible. So they just used ugly brown blocks and kind of shaped it to be a chandelier. It leaves a cheap taste in my mouth, I don't know. You just kind of wait and jump, climb pole, climb stairs, get coin, rinse, repeat. A very uninspired level. Secret exit is once again not interesting or satisfying to find. It's kind of just there. So yeah, this is another D tier. 6 Ghost House is actually really confusing. It's a really confusing maze-like level with switches that move a bunch of blocks, tied in with rooms that look identical but have slight differences. And this level legit mixed me for like 10 minutes looking for both exits. Like the secret exit was actually easier to find than the normal exit. And for reference, these levels usually take about 2 to 4 minutes to complete. Truly, if this level had some more interesting stuff happening in it other than confusedplayer.exe running in the background, it could go way higher. But all it's got are some moving blocks and switches. I'll give it as high C, but still C. Okay, now Bros 2 is not doing so hot in the Ghost House department, but World Mushroom's Ghost House kind of turns things around. It's nothing crazy, but the idea here is that there's a bunch of switches that trigger some blue blocks to change, and you have to make sure you hit them in the right order or you'll block off your path or make it harder. And this is a fun little challenge. It's not too long, the secret is a joke again, to be honest, but whatever. If this gimmick were more fleshed out and used in a more interesting setting, I could see it being in like an A tier, which now I'm realizing means if this level was better, it would be better, so yeah, this is a B tier. And finally, for DC Mario Bros. 2, we got World Flowers Ghost House, and this ain't bad at all. It uses the webs from World 3 for a fun little ascent. Getting the star coin at the top of the climb triggers a free fall section, and you have to pay attention or you'll miss a star coin and or the secret exit. Then it's all completed with the short behemoth section, which is using more interesting terrain than before. This ain't bad at all. This goes in B tier for sure. And the secret exit's pretty obvious your first time around, because you'll see it and think, oh, okay, I gotta remember to go back and get that next time. Starting in Bros U, we got our second Go Ship level, Haunted Shipwreck in Sparkling Waters. And this level's pretty good. The vibes are there right off the bat with the tile set and the background. Now that we're in HD and the text evolved a little bit more, these things can be realized a little more clearly, so it looks good visually. And the terrain's just fun to navigate. It's got floating boxes in the water and in the air. And they're floating in a ghostly way, not just up and down, left and right. The second section is a mid-underwater section. Nothing too interesting here other than the bonefish, but the last section is a cool layered out box maze that's both interesting and a little tricky to navigate. The secret exit's also in this room, and it's just a wall jump that's almost out of your field of vision, but just enough to where if you're looking for secrets, you'll find it no problem. This feels like a low A tier to me, so that's where it goes. Now, unlike Haunted Shipwreck, Swaying Ghost House isn't very linear at all. The whole gimmick is the camera sways back and forth throughout each room, which gives you specific windows on what you can do. Kinda interesting, but nothing crazy. Now, this level's got a lot of sneaky doors that you gotta discover by using P-switches. Most of them are covered by blocks in a wall that turn into coins, and the game is pretty good at hinting on where these are, so it's not too cryptic. The little sub-areas in these are great though. One room has you hitting a P-switch and then sprinting to the end of the room, which has these floating coins following your movement. The coins turn into blocks and you have to reach the end of the room in time to use them as platforms. It's a damn good idea, I won't lie. Like, I smiled when playing this, but that's not even the best room though. The last section in the house is a big elevator of coins that turns into blocks when you hit it, and the only way to make it go up is by jumping and scrolling the camera up, since the blocks are kind of tied to where your camera's position is in the room. You gotta do a sequence of perfectly timed jumps if you want to make it all the way to the top of the room, which is where the secret exit is. The normal exit is right under it as a consolation prize, but that's the kind of secret exit I prefer in most cases. An extended challenge is the level's gimmick, one that forces you to master what the level was teaching you. And in this case, it was P-switch time management. I like this level a lot more than I did when I was a kid, and it's going in A tier as well. Okay, so Which Way Labyrinth and Soda Jungle is another non-linear trial-esque level. There's a lot going on with this one. We get a bruiser section, a scaredy rat section with a baby Gloshi, a tilting and falling elevator section, a free fall section with breaking ground. There's a bunch. But the problem is I didn't get to properly evolve any of these gimmicks for the level. It's just kind of a bunch of different things that aren't too interesting. And I know that's kind of how other trial levels were, but this one feels a little weaker for some reason. I can't really put my finger on it. The vibes are here aesthetically for sure, but it didn't interest me a lot. But I mean, the level was executed and made really well, to be honest. So I think a B tier is fair for this one. I don't dread playing this by any means, but it's maybe a little forgetful. However, when you're playing it, you're having a good time. That feels B-ish to me. Spinning Spirit House and Moraine Clouds is kind of an evolving trial level, I guess. You go through a door, complete the room, exit, and the area you were in before is slightly altered, and I'm down with that theme. You start the whole level off in a box. There's a couple of these scrolling box sections. You're trapped in a box avoiding booze and flying objects. It's kinda neat, but nothing crazy. Now the rest of the level really takes place in what I described before. This room evolves and changes paths the more you do in it. Eventually you make your way to the top door and it's not even the way out. Yeah, you just gotta head down to the right and the exit door is right there pretty much. The secret exit has you explore the room a little more instead of taking the normal exit. You keep going, reusing the spring from before and go to a different area on the left and boom, secret. This level's okay. I don't have too much to say about it, so low B, I guess? Okay, so Luigi's U levels are designed around beating them real quick, 100 Mario seconds. These are gonna be pretty simple and bare bones. Now, Haunted Cargo Hold's actually a very accurate name for this. You head into the ship's cargo hold, jump on a bunch of boxes with booze in the sky and fish in the water to stop ya. Pretty hazardous, but nothing crazy. Secret exit's directly below the normal one, but in the water. Not hard to find, just dangerous if you're not careful. This is a C tier, unfortunately. There's no time to evolve these gimmicks in such a short time, and it's not bad, but it's nothing special at all. Peekaboo Ghost House is okay. okay. Just okay. Like a little better than Haunted Cargo Hold, but not by too much. The whole level you're on like a kiddie roller coaster of floating block segments slowly floating through the level, while certain blocks that you get near disappear in front of you. Some revealing secrets, some revealing the way forward. The boo circles with Luigi's slippery physics and Luigi U make it pretty tough to balance on these blocks and get through the circles without getting hit. It's not boring and it's decently challenging, it's just not too interesting. And the secret exit's kinda tough in this one. There's no real hint, other than when you hit your head on this part of the ceiling, you kinda go through it a little. You gotta backtrack on top of the ceiling near the first star coin and then drop into this little nook. High C for this one. Now the fact that this is Boo's favorite haunt is just crazy. This level just sucks. There ain't nothing going on. We're in the dark, we stay on the same plane the whole time, no gimmicks, just floating platforms and Boo circles galore. The only point to this whole level is the fact that the secret exit requires you to not get hit the whole time. It's super lame. This might be our second F tier. I hate to do it to him, but damn. Okay, now we're talking. Vanishing Ghost House actually does something. The gimmick here is the ground is disappearing behind you, so you gotta hurry. And when you get off that ground section, it turns into a bullet hell platform survival area, which is cool. Once you're done with that, it drops you down into more of the same, but the ground disappears a little faster. It's nothing crazy. I feel like I say it's nothing crazy a lot, but it's pretty solid and enjoyable level. The secret exit is just go left instead of right when you drop. But check this out at the exit. A little Luigi's Mansion reference, perhaps? That's cool as hell. I like this. They went out of their way and made that whole asset just for this little thing. This one gets a B tier. Now on to 3D World with Shifty Boo Mansion, and this one's a clean one. The main gimmick here is the floor shifts under you at different speeds, shifting your momentum when you try to run or jump. I feel like this is such a haunted mansion trope. The floor starts moving under you when you try to run away and you're just in the same spot. There's a little Mario 64 Easter egg with the first green star making you jump into a Boo painting. I love the big boos outside the mansion staring into the windows, leaving even if you run outside, you won't be safe vibe. And you even do end up going outside, and they were right. I love the haunted furniture, even if it's just a couch, it reminds me of the Mario 64 piano. Although this one probably won't give you nightmares for years to come. There's a whole library section where if you stand on top of the bookshelf, it shifts itself in a different way, which is a cool way to hide a secret. This level suits the Luigi's Mansion vibe best out of any other ghost house, to be honest. There's fake one-ups, fake pipes, and even at the end, there's a fake flagpole. Like, that's so cool. Has that even been done before? I don't think so. If you couldn't tell by now, I mess with this ghost house heavy. And ladies and gents, I think we finally got our second S tier. It's under Big Boo's haunt, but it's still up there. A Beam in the Dark is another solid level. This time you roll up and we are strapped. You get the light box item that lets you shine your light on a Boo for a second, then Boo, cooked. Now we don't only have to rely on stars and random lights from the ceiling to take these guys out. Now most of the level takes place on these floating platforms, but at least you're doing something. You gotta properly time and aim the light before you're slammed into a Boo or something. If you get hit though, now you're on defense instead of offense. But talking aesthetically, it's not bad. But the coolest part of the level is shooting through this room filled with Bowser statues. It just looks a little intimidating and cool. A tier for a Beam in the Dark. 3D World's doing pretty good. Okay, so now we got Shiftier Boo Mansion. And this is kind of a remix to, okay, not kind of a remix, it literally is a remix of Shifty Boo Mansion, obviously. But this isn't like the lazy ones that we had in 3D Land. Along with just making everything significantly harder, they took the rooms and mixed up their layout. Sometimes doors take you to different places. The outdoor section's a lot meaner if you fall for the obvious trap, which is cool as hell. All the shifting ground is way faster. Some areas are removed like the library section, but there's some parts of the level that you just have to play backwards with different hazard placement. But the coolest thing about this level is that you get triple trolled at the end. The fake flagpole followed by where the real flagpole used to be, but now it's not even there. It's just a warp box, which takes you back to the start of the area. So you gotta investigate and look around for the real exit, which is under the bridge on some clouds, then you're free to go. But yeah, this is a good remix. It would also be an S to be honest, but it feels wrong to do that since it steals so many things from its younger brothers, so it's going an A. And last, but certainly not least, we got Mario Wonder's Light Switch Mansion. This level is great. The gimmick is hitting these life blocks to reveal platforms and take out boos. But the enemy that steals the show here are the Knock Knocks. The first time you see them, it's a little bit of a jump scare. Instead of just normal fake doors, what if they walked and had teeth? Great enemy, especially for these kinds of levels. Level design-wise, it's good, but nothing crazy. And just like that, you're done before you know it. I'd say this is a solid BT. Oh, wait a second. I think I missed a door. Hold on. Let's just jump over this gap and check it out. Oh, true. The Wonder Flower's here. I wonder what it's gonna be. Okay, yeah, it's S tier. What the hell? This is awesome! Not only did we get a rare King Boo appearance, but he's singing an opera song. This Boo's got pipes! This is so charming and fun, like goddamn they cooked. And you can completely skip this too, making it even more special IMO. Yeah, easiest S tier of my life. We did it though. We ranked every single ghost house in all of mainline Mario. I came into this kinda hating ghost houses, but now I think I have a newfound appreciation for them. Cause some of them really suck, don't get me wrong, but some are peak and a lot of them ain't half bad. Now with that being said, I'll probably forget that I feel this way and whenever the next ghost house drops, I'll probably hate it immediately, but hey. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks to the NinTroopas for supporting the channel. We got Anthem, Lemmykirb, Friday Night Funkin' Frenzy 5913, John Kenny, Drop to Mike 75, adamzero, Craig Stein, Not Feeling So Good, DT, TheBulginator, Ascendance, and Driffoid. They get a bunch of perks like emotes, getting the video a little early, chance to appear in videos as an audio cameo, access to the Discord, and a bunch of other stuff that I can't remember right now. So if you guys feel like supporting the channel, please hit the join button down below. It helps me a lot, and it helps me justify being able to get these awesome thumbnails done by Doriana. It's incredible. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and bye.